Welcome in everybody! This is my short form masterclass. Today we're going to be learning everything about short form creation and everything that is related to that. But first, I need you to understand, who am I? So, I'm Ollie. I'm a pro editor. I've had 40 plus clients. I've been editing professionally for 3 years. I'm known for working with this guy, PorcelainMaid. I've been working with him since he was at 10K. Now he's sitting at 300K actually. I've done over 1,000 shorts and I have more than 100 million views acquired. So, you know, not that I want to take the credit for everything, but I've helped a little. So, today we're going to be learning the following. What is editing? How to make a short? And how to hire it and how to be hired. Now, before my next slide starts, I want to ask you guys this question. What is editing? The thing about this question is that it's very tricky. Because a lot of people have this thing where they think like editing is just, you know, adding a PNG animation or adding music to it and, you know, like adding subtitles, and there you go, you have a clip. But there's something wrong with this because everything here leads up to one thing, and it's all presentation. Editing is all about presentation. If I'm telling you guys a story, I would just tell you guys, so guys, my dog passed away. And it's not the same if I add, so guys, my dog passed away. Maybe that leads up to a joke, I don't know. It's all about presentation, right? What do you need to know to present better? This is the next question I have for you guys. Oh, well, if you're talking editing, you need a good software for editing, right? And I'm just gonna be kind and tell you guys, you just need nothing to present better. There's multiple ways to make presentations better. So for example, you can just hire somebody to do it. You don't need to learn anything. You just kind of need money for that. You can do it through OBS like I'm doing right now. See, I don't want to edit this video later because I'm a lazy bum. But if I'm using this all through OBS, then I don't need to edit this video as hard later, right? Now there's also like YouTube settings, you know, some people actually are kind of crazy and they use the editor in YouTube. So like, you know, like you want to clip like a moment out or, you know, and just upload it raw. Some people do it. Now there's problems with this. For example, if hiring somebody comes with the not learning anything about editing really, and you learn not anything about content creation, but you also are constantly losing money. So the more you hire, you know, maybe it becomes way harder to follow your content creation, you know? There's also the moment with the cropped moments. Like, you know, I just went over here. If I was trying to focus my face, I could never do this. You know, the YouTube settings are wonky and inconsistent. I'm a real, if you just learn an editing software, it's not only gonna be easier and way faster to do than depending on a YouTube system. Now, let's talk about editing. What makes editing or what makes the editing software so good? The editing software allows precise control. Now, there's one problem with video editing, and I will say it now. Not only is there a learning difficulty, but it's super time consuming. I've gotten way better at doing short every day, but there's so many people that take like, I don't know, like 3 hours, like 2 hours to do one short. And I'm a real, that's totally fine. It's a learning curve. What you gotta do is you gotta keep pushing. But yeah, there's two important things actually that you need to know about editing besides the program. It's all cutting and padding. Let's start explaining cutting. Cutting is all about the things you want to remove. When you're doing a short, you're in borrowed time. What does that mean? The person is putting their trust in you that you're gonna make their time worth it. So for example, if I just stayed quiet here for 10 seconds. God, that felt like an eternity, right? So what makes a good clip, you know? Because yes, we know that we need to remove everything. But if we don't have a good clip to start with, we don't really know what to remove and what to keep, right? Now, I have multiple clients that approach me with clips that they are like, oh yeah, I have this one clip where like I'm playing horror game and then I get scared. I kindly tell them, you know, it's good, but it's more about the game than you know? Because like, everyone gets jump scared in a game, right? Now, it's one thing if you're someone like Tense, who's incredibly good at the game, and then you're getting an incredible highlight game or an incredible highlight thing. But that becomes about their skill in the game and not the game itself, if that makes sense. So it's all about how you show yourself or how you show your skills or how you show yourself as someone being funny or whatever. Now, let me tell you guys about the format as well. The best way to identify a clip is by following the format. If you guys look at any single clip I've ever done, I always try to get this exact format going on. It's all context, the punchline, and the aftermath. Now, let me just create like a little scene for you guys with this. This is Dumpy. They're reading a chat message. This chat message could be like, "Your mom fat," and Dumpy's like, "Oh yeah, your mom is so fat. She puts a belt with a boomerang." And like chat is like, "What the fuck? Oh my god!" And you know, like those are the clips that work, and those are the clips you wanna get, because they're really easy to present and they're really easy to find. Now, there's multiple different types of format. Moving on from cutting, let's go to panning. So generally, when you're working with a 16:9 clip, which is this format, you don't have enough space to fit everything. So like, let's say I do a square around Joel right now. That's only the face, but I cannot show the game. We generally like want to figure out different ways to present better. So for example, we have Joel in the bottom here, the game on top, and the subtitle there, so that nothing is being hindered and the most amount of information is being shown. You have multiple ways of presenting something, and these are all the kind of screens you're gonna need. Now, when you do present, you gotta keep in mind that there is a lot of TikTok UI elements. So for example, in the yellow area, there's gonna be like the follow me, the heart, the share icon. Over this area, it's gonna be the description, the music, you know, the whatever it's using, if it's using a widget. There's gonna be like the following and for you areas. And then there's this red area. Now, the red areas to me are one of the most important parts, because you guys are like, "Oh, that's so minimal. What even is that?" These parts are areas that get cropped out. So the thing about phones, and let me nerd out for you for a bit. Phones aren't exactly 16:9 or 9:16. They're a little bit wider than that nowadays. What that ends up doing, it generally causes it to be cropped off, and it can cause like, you know, like your subtitles to be eliminated a little bit, or it can cause, you know, like stuff to get cropped off. And the crazy thing about this is that you barely realize that this is happening, but this can easily affect this. There's obviously, this is a template I used to use, but then I learned that most editing softwares come with a thing called safe areas, and then you can just turn this on. In a safe area, this enters perfectly. So this is your play area that you want to have. Now, if you want to keep everything in tidy and in space, we got to know about keyframing. So like right now we have Joel moving around their head. Like, just imagine this without actually following the face. It might cause them from getting out or getting, you know, like just disappearing from the area. And you don't want that. I want to keep my eyes looking on the VTuber. Tracking is fairly important. It's actually one of the nicest ways to keep your short looking good, you know? And it's very easy to do once you understand what you're doing. But yeah, we mentioned subtitles briefly. These are the most generally used subtitle formats. You have the single format. This is the one I use all the time. So you could just go like, "I am Ollie, I am Ollie, I am Ollie." But in this format, it actually fits the text all at once. So this could be, "I am Ollie." Now, a lot of people have asked me which one is better. And to be honest with you, I mean, it's just a preference thing. Like, I personally like this one more. I think it looks more entertaining seeing it dance than seeing it just appear. These are all goodies. These are all nice things to have on the short. These are all the things applied at once. So for example, here I used text all at once, but then I individually presented the text format. Like the smack S is individual and the round is individual. Now here, for example, in this short, I'm using the text as a single text and it looks so good. But I want you to keep in mind that I transition from one screen to another. This is Don taking the whole screen, and I wanted Lala to interpose. So what I did is I just went like whoop, and I also took the time to move the subtitle with it so that it also looks way more clean, you know? So the difference with this text and this text is that Joel's reading this, but Teddy's just responding to this. Does that make sense? If I'm just reading Paulo right now in the chat going, "Yeah, smooth transition," it's one thing. But if I'm going like, it is a pretty smooth transition, it's totally different. Another thing I want you to keep in mind with this, I wanted you to focus on the text at first. And then when Teddy started like talking about something outside the comment, I prioritized the zoom on Teddy. Look at that. Whoop, and then it just talks to Teddy. Now that we have like a lot of do's, let's do do's and don'ts. Now, please stop using songs like this. Okay? Please stop. Please stop. Like you're hurting my fucking soul. Same with this one. And this one as well. There's so many songs that are in my ban list. Sound effects are not an exception. If I hear you guys using this, or like, you know, like any derivative of that, you know, I swear to God, like, okay, there's a much better and cleaner way of doing this, which is called pitch shifting. So you can go. Isn't that way cooler? Isn't that way cooler? And it's such a simple thing. You're only adding 2 effects to it. One of them is just fading out the audio at the end. And then the other one is just making the song gradually have a lower pitch. Another thing that I want you guys to keep in mind, and I have it written there as timing, but I need you guys to understand how important is the timing on songs. So like, let's put it like this, Chad. Let's say I'm a creator and I have like a moment where I say something that could be misinterpreted. Oh my God, Chad, I'm so big right now, Chad. I'm so fucking big. Wait a minute. Dad, I didn't mean it like that. I swear to God, I'm done. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. I was panicking so hard. The timing of a song really explains the thing, and it's also the vibe of the song that decides it. Cause like, you know, going back to the song, if I want to tell you guys about, I don't know, Chad, my cat died. Chad, it's so sad. It's not the same if I'm going like that, or if I'm going, Chad, my cat died. It's so fucking sad, Chad. Chad, I cannot come back from this. It's over. Like, you guys get it? Like, it makes no sense. So you gotta pick a correct song that goes with the vibe, that has the correct timing, and also, you know, just play around with the song a little bit. Now, for video, please, I swear to God, don't interrupt. And it's actually like a super annoying thing to see, because like, you're taking me away from the clip to show me a meme that is just a person laughing, but you could have just added him in the background if you really wanted to keep the sound going, you know. There's also another don't, and it's subtitle positioning and size. This right now, it's blocking my way to see Joel's face. Now, Joel could be sad, could be happy, could be distraught right now, and I have no idea what is going on right now. Another thing, you might have noticed that the damn is slightly clipped, and that's no good, because this word could be anything. Could be damn it. This could be another M. It could be damn. There's multiple ways to do this, and you don't want to crop that. Another thing you don't want to do with subtitles is do multiple subtitles or do multiple subtitles at the exact same time. This is annoying because my eyes don't know where to look at. Like, let me tell you, like, where am I looking? Here, here, here. I generally tend to just put one subtitle, and then if the other person is interrupting and the other person is talking, it's like a little bit more important, just put the subtitle over the text. But like, if you're trying to showcase another text, then that means this text is no longer important, if that makes sense. Now, there's another thing you guys don't want to do related to text. Don't screenshot the Twitch text. Now, the problem with this is that it has no borders. You know, it has no borders over here. It has very pixelated text, and you know, it has like things you don't really need. Now, this is a better way of doing it in my opinion, which is the Twitch message creator.versal.app, which I can link to you guys if you guys really do want it. This little website that lets you set up text like, you know, from scratch. It lets you change the color. It lets you change the little icons to the left if you truly feel that that's important. But this is my favorite way of doing text. It not only does it keep the quality of the text at the maximum, but it also lets you add emotes in a way that makes total visual sense. And then you can also change everything you want. Like, let's say instead of olideliber, I want just a text saying chat, you know? Or let's say I want to modify a chat message, you know, like I can just easily do it. And this also lets you animate everything, how you guys can see in the Joel clip, where like, you know, you guys have like, that's gonna smack us around, you know, like it lets you animate the text to make it more interestingly visually. And, you know, it's very important just to have. Now, a good thing you want to do about video, and this is like the #1 thing that I'm not gonna lie, it pulls apart a UV editor from a goated editor. Keyframe types. And I'm not playing about this, and I wish I was, but so many people underestimate the power of this. Like, look at this ball. This ball is moving smoothly, right? But then look at this one. This one bounces. So what that makes is just, it adds weight to the ball, you know? These are the tricks that have basically made me an editor from like all the way in. Now for story, please don't forget about this guy. This image right here is context. Context is so fucking important to a clip because it's how you feed people into what you're gonna be doing or what you're gonna be like, you know, talking about. Now, the idea for this was to like basically tell you guys that everything I kind of told you guys right now is just what I do every single day, and it's in sequence. I kind of tricked you guys to follow my workflow. So like if we go back from the start, we start by cutting the short. We remove the redundancies, we remove everything. Get a good clip, make sure the Vegas is good. We get the format up, and then we start panning. We start making the screens fit. We start making sure that the format doesn't go. We make sure we add the tracking. We add the subtitle bouncing. We try to add like a little nice effects to make everything look clean. And then we follow the do's and don'ts. And then voila, you have a short. Oh, I'm a little tricky guy. You guys just learned how to make a short. You still gotta learn the software though, because I'm not teaching that. Now that we understand how to make one short, we gotta talk about, do you really need to hire? The general reason you should hire is your current job more worth economically than editing? So for example, let's say 1 hour of my time is worth $80. Spending 1 hour editing would mean that I would have to spend $80 on a thing like that. The other factor you want to hire is you want to be hyper consistent. Or I want like a specific style. I've hired editors before, like Shad for my main YouTube videos, or Shancy Cool, because I wanted their specific styles, which is all around based on PNG animations, and I really liked. So I was like, okay, that makes more sense to spend. And then there's two reasons you don't. You have no editing knowledge. If you always hire, you're never gonna learn how to edit. But you guys are like, oh, but it's fine. I want to be a streamer. I don't want to be like, you know, like a thing. I don't really care. But you guys should care about it, because again, editing is the easiest way to control everything. So if you want like a really fast edited clip, if you want like something to trim down, if you want to add music to a clip, you don't have to go through an editor, which takes time. You can just edit it yourself. And the other thing, because you're lazy. If you're lazy about editing, what's gonna stop you from being lazy about giving them commissions to edit, you know? Now, the way you find editors, it's very simple. You can go on Twitter, you can just see like, oh, a person edited this and I really like, let me just see what they're doing. Or like you can go on YouTube and see like, oh, they pinged the editor, let me see. But it's generally through Twitter. I've only found one person through Beacon, like ever, because I don't really go on Beacon. I mostly manage all my commissions through either Twitter or Discord, but Beacon is pretty good. It has like a nice, comfortable way of seeing people actually like do a job. If you guys have like no comfortable way of approaching people, it feels more businessy. The other way is just Discord. There's multiple Discords like Looped, which is Suika's server, which is Affiliate's editor. You know, hop in some Discord servers that are promoting editors. There's a lot. Now, you're an editor like me and you're trying to find clients. I've done a video on how to get hired as an editor, but what this video is about is just making good content for free, like a, you know, like as a free sample for a content creator that you like. I got hired by Kenji using a total fake account. By doing that, like I created the account in the day and I got hired by Kenji. But please, for the love of me, not for the love of Kenji, please don't bother Kenji about this again. He got really flooded after this video, and like, you know, I just don't want to bother the man again. Don't approach them like with the mentality of getting hired. Approach them with the mentality that you're doing something because you like them. This is a good example of me doing this. You know, like how I mentioned before, one of my longest standing clients ever is Joel. How I got my job with Joel before everything happened is I just cold turkey Joel, and then, you know, like he would just ask me what would my rates be. And this specific short had 1 million views. It popped off. So if you guys have like really good shorts and like a really good vision and content, you can probably get hired. Now, there's an etiquette you gotta follow when hiring people. For example, this is my friend Konton Ryoshie. Before we even knew each other, he wanted to commission me. And it was like, hi, sorry to bother you. I would just like to inquire as to your commission rates for TikToks. And I just like, yo, almost everything you need to know is on my card. I don't know, I missed the very obvious pricing section. I'm very sorry. How do I go about commissioning you? I would like, how do you operate? And then I literally had a perfectly named section like that on my TOS called how I operate and like explaining all the steps. So, you know, like we're friends now, but like, you know, you could like bother yourself to read like, you know, just a little tiny TOS, you know, it's fine. There's also this. I won't tell the VTubers name for this, but after Off Guy, they recently approached me being like, hey fam, are you open for short clips editing? And I was like, yo, it depends on quantity. Currently trying to focus more on my own thingy. No worries, totally understandable. Yeah. Now, I don't know if you guys understand this, but I didn't say no. I could have phrased it in a way that make more sense for them. Now I'm way too busy now. If you're seeing this VTuber that wanted to hire me, I'm sorry. Should have been more clear with you guys. But yeah, and then, you know, be consistent and follow through. I have a lot of people who hire me, who like go like, oh yeah, I want to do 3 shorts a week. Oh, I want to do 5 shorts a week. And then like, you know, like you ping them like, yo, I need more clips. And like, you know, like they don't respond. And after a month, nothing happens. I'm sorry, but I gotta drop you, you know? And most of the times, these for me end with like, not even like a word exchange of like, oh yeah, I just wanted to know what's happening with you, because, you know, like I was trying to make my shorts go through, and like, you know, I was just thinking like maybe we could figure out something more out, you know, like I've gotten this so many times. I just like you know, kind of banished. But that's it. Not really. We still have a Q&A. So some people on Twitter were kind enough to leave some questions. But yeah, Nuna96 asks, how would you price an edited short? Now the truth about this is that it's all like pricing things in real life is how much time and money does it take you to do one short, and how many things people want your thing. Let's say you can only do 4 shorts a day, right? And 40 people want to commission you, then you gotta pick the one that pays you the most. And that's just simple business. If you really like a creator and you want to keep working with them, like you can maybe make an exception to the rule. But as a business, it's generally not convenient to do that. Now, Lamp Devil asks, where do you source sound effects and music? Epidemic Sounds is a really good service, but it's paid. Game OST, sometimes I just remember like, oh yeah, I really used to love that one's game music. And I'm like, oh yeah, I really like that one. Let me just search through the OST on YouTube and find anything else. And the other good one is just go into like video essayers or anything channel, and they generally have the YouTube songs put in the description. And then you can just find them and go like, oh, let me apply that to myself. And I feel like that's one of the greatest ways of doing something like that. Now, Nuna asked me this question, and I'm like, oh, this question is gonna be longer than the entire masterclass. Is long form better than shorts? First of all, you gotta know what your content is. Do you like scripting? Do you like making big events? Do you like making things like that? Do you love doing every little sit-up thing? Then long form is probably better for you. It takes a bazillion years to do a long form versus a short, you know? But long form, not only does it pay better, long form pays insanely better, but it also, like, you know, it has more staying power from people compared to shorts. So it depends. I don't know what to tell you. But now it's Twitch chats time. What questions do you guys have? What should you censor in an edit? There's a really big Word document about what words should be allowed. And that's the perfect example right there. You have advice on the perfect amount of context in the hook. I mean, this is a complicated question. If I say, me and my brother went to the supermarket together. Me and my brother, who is older than me, is like 2 meters tall, and you know, like, does that information help you later? It's kind of super subjective, but yeah. How long does it usually take you from start to finish a clip? So I think I just said this, 30 to 40 minutes, sometimes even less. But it depends on commission as well. Some commissions really require PNG animations and a lot of things like that, you know, just make it harder to, you know, cleanly set up. What's your take on the volume of sound effects? I often see so many use the pipe sound effects, for example, super loud, and it throws me off so badly. So the real thing about sound is that sound is 70% of a YouTube. And you guys are like, wait, what? Wouldn't it be 50-50? No, it's 70%. Because you guys can watch a video with bad visuals, but you would never watch a video with shitty ass audio. Moist Critical really doesn't do a lot of visuals for his stuff, but he has a nice voice that just like, you know, like kind of tells you what's going on, and like, you know, that's it. That's all you kind of ever need. So what do you say it would be best, the average length? The thing that matters the most about length is that you can pull people through it. So if a clip can entertain you for 30 seconds, then that's a fire clip. But if a clip can entertain you for 10 seconds, that's still good, you know? What matters is not the length of the short. What matters is how long you can keep them. And if you can keep them for longer, then it's better. Is good content more important than clean editing? Yes! You guys know the I love, that clip is barely edited and it's super viral. So if the content is good, then it's just simply good. For best consistency, would it be good to post it at least one short a day? The more you can post shorts, the better, obviously. Obviously, if you're doing one a day, YouTube is gonna be like, whoa, this guy's posting content, and whoa, it's doing good. Let me recommend him more. Whoa, this guy's popping up. Whoa, this guy, whoa. You know, like, that's what I mean. Do hashtags or tags really matter? Yes. So let me explain to you guys like this. You have 3 people. One of them, which is purple, really likes anime, but red and blue don't really like anime. So if I put hashtag anime, it's gonna be sent out to this guys, but not to this guy who doesn't really like anime. Like, it's a filter, basically. It's just a way to recommend content, you know, for people who may or may not like it. Well, hope you guys like my little editing class. There's gonna be a YouTube video about this, so if I feel like there was anything else that I might need to add, I recommend you guys watch it. And you know, hope you guys like that. Now,